Hello everybody, I'm doing another session. Today's session is on existence. You know, everybody wonders where we come from. Everybody thinks it's Yahweh, or actually Yahshua. You know, a lot of people think we come from evolution. Well, you could not be any more correct and incorrect at the same time. So, here's a little riddle for you. We are everything, but we are nothing. You exist, but you do not. We are omnipresent. So what you are is what you are not. What that means is you are everything, but you are nothing at the same time. Meaning, you think you exist, you think this exists, this air you breathe, the things you see, the things you touch, because you make it a reality. You think it's real. Alright? Once you alleviate that whole concept, once you alleviate that thought process, everything becomes more clear. I'll give you another example. Alright? So, there's a story, Buddhist story, that there was this warlord going from village to village, monastery to monastery, slaughtering all the Buddhist monks. Alright? Just killing them off. Just because he's good. Just looting everything they had. Well, he got to this one monastery, and one of the monks just kind of stood up against him, very proud, very ready to die. And the warlord goes, "You're not afraid of me? You know who I am? I'll run you through and not think twice about it." He goes, "You must not know who I am. You can run me through, kill me right now, and I wouldn't think twice about it." Alright, so that being said, you accepting death, not afraid to lose it all, you become immortal. You become free. See, I was talking to someone today, Mrs. Questions, right? That you can only become free and liberated and find your existence, find the mysteries of life by opening hell's mouth. Right? Entering the infernal empire and going into the lake of fire. Now, I cannot explain to you what that is completely. You have to experience it for yourself. And when you do so, be prepared, be willing to sacrifice everything. Your loved ones, your house, your money, your car. Only when you're ready to lose it all can you gain it all. So, here's another thing. Omnipresence, it's like saying, the infernal fire is omnipresent. It is everything. Everything you breathe, everything you touch, everything. It's going to sound strange when I say it. It is an alternate reality. Think of it like an alternate dimension. It is, oh wow. It is a place that is not a place. It is a time where there is not a time. Time is irrelevant. Time does not exist in the Infernal Empire. This place and elsewhere, as well as everywhere you can even start to imagine, is within these realms. Alright. So, when you enter the lake of fire, you'll understand this. Working with the gatekeepers, you'll understand this. Now, let me touch on the subject. Everybody thinks that we were created by Yahweh, God, all that shit. I'm sorry, I don't sugarcoat anything. Alright? So, I'm primarily, mostly, Romanian and German. Mostly Romanian. Now, I don't sugarcoat nothing. So here's the thing. Everybody thinks that Christianity, Judaism, all that shit was a real religion. Everybody thinks that God was there and was worshipped prior. Newsflash, Judaism worshipped Canaanite and Babylonian gods. Newsflash. The Jews worshipped Baal, a Canaanite god, a calf god, and that's just one of them. Okay. Another thing, it wasn't until Moses came down from Sinai, and they were exiled to the desert for 60 years for that. Oh, that's a loving God, isn't it? That God is very vengeful, in my book. Just because I don't worship, bow before His feet, you're going to punish me and condemn me when He's not even the original God. You're listening to a guy that was raised by Egyptians and was an idol worshiper him damn self. So you're gonna listen? Why? Because he converted, essentially. But get my point. See, if you know anything about Babylon, the creation story of Tiamat, how the world and the worlds and creation was created in the first place, was foretold 10,000 years before the birth of Christ. That's a long time. Tiamat, the primordial dragon, the mother. Now, some will be mad at me when I say this, but Tiamat would eat Lilith for lunch and clean her teeth with her bones and say, next. Tiamat is a very temperamental, dark woman and would not think twice about destroying such. But yet she's very protective, motherly. Now, draconian arts, draconian magic, the draconian path, anything with animalistic features, birds, serpents, dogs, animalistic characteristics, meaning physical features, and the mythos is a draconian. Egyptians, Babylon, Canaanite, Celtic, every culture has them. But one. Christianity. Well, actually, no, because originally Christianity comes from the Babylon, Samaria. It wasn't until Zoroastrianism they decided to separate make a good guy and a bad guy. Newsflash. Before Zoroastrianism, Babylon, Persian, Sumerian era, alright? Okay. There was Ari Mazda, which would be your good guy. And then there's Ahriman, which would be your bad guy. Technically. Ari Mazda created form. Well, this is after Tiamat and Apsu created everything. With Tiamat had 4 children. 2 girls, 2 boys. They decided to have incest and created vegetation, the water, the rocks, all that shit. Alright? Okay, cool. Well, here comes Ari Mazda. He wants to create matter and form. He can do that. Then he wants to create light. Oh, he wants to create light. He can't. So he goes to his brother Ahriman. Ahriman is the Prince of Darkness. Now, he goes to Ahriman. He goes, brother, I cannot do this. I cannot create light. Will you help me? He starts laughing and he goes, now you come to me? You treat me like this? Okay. But let me tell you, only the darkness can there be light. Only once you accept the darkness can you find the light. Only through your own darkness can you find your own light. Can you do this? He goes, yes. Once he created light, he didn't accept the darkness. Yeah. Now, you think Lilith is bad? No. Ahriman's wife, Azjahi, is worse. I don't know who's worse, Azjahi or Rushagul, which, okay, let me put it like, Rushagul is the lady of the dead. She cannot leave the underworld. She can raise the dead, control the dead. Alright? So, the Prince of Darkness is unable to what's up?
Hey. I love the shirt.
There you go. The Prince of Darkness, Ahriman, is unable to. If she decided to raise it and obliterate mankind, obliterate the gods, he would be unable to stop her. She is, by the mythos, and from my experience, not one to fuck with. Now, that being said, there's another one that I'd like to give mention to. And that is Azidahaka, the first Draconian. He got the kiss of Ahriman, which is a kiss on each shoulder. Out of the shoulders rose a serpent out of each shoulder, draining him from his life force, making him weak. So, he kept cutting him off, they would go back. Cutting him off, go back. He's tripping out. So finally, he goes to a physician. Funny enough, interesting fact, this physician was Ahriman in another form. So, the physician tells Azidahaka, or Sohak, that only through sacrifice. If you do not feed them, they will just, if you keep cutting them off, they'll keep growing back. If you do not feed them and give them sacrifice, you will make them happy. If you do not, they will just keep feeding on you and you will die. They need life sacrifice. They need sacrifice. So, he fed the serpents blood. Sacrifice is what he gave them. They fed him. He fed them. They worked with him. And they became a team. Now, funny thing is, every time that anything ever posed or tried to challenge and invade Samaria, Babylon, it's where it's fun. I've actually worked with Azihaka on a few times. I would not advise it to anybody that's a novice and that is not very experienced, especially with the oldest of the ancients. These ancients created mankind. These ancients created mankind. Do not fuck with these ancients just randomly. You have to gradually build up to these ancients, especially, and you have to research and research and research and research. Anyway, what were I saying? There was never an army that could penetrate their village, their capital, their city. You had locusts, spiders, anything that was creepy, crawly, and scorpions. You think little scorpions? No, these are like mutant scorpions. Huge, like, do you remember the movie Scorpion King? Remember how, or not Scorpion, but it was I think it was Mummy 2, where The Rock was like the Scorpion King guy, like that. Okay, all bad, but worse. Okay. That almost killed me when I invoked him. I did not get to kiss Rahman. It almost killed me. Now, that being said, I touched on a few different subjects that one of my new friends was asking me about. It's kind of hard to put these in simple words because it cannot be put in simple words. You have to experience these things. But with that, I bid you adieu. Have a good day.